Hi everyone, hi, welcome to another video. Raspberry Pi for the older generation. Now in the last video, what we did a quick configuration to get the camera module up and running. Well, in this video, what I want to do is try and improve the picture, if you like. Try and get rid of some of the background noise, try and get the best frame rate per second we can. I think on these camera modules about 30 is the best frame rate, frames per second to have. And also I want to display the frames per second within the window of the camera. Right now I've got to give a big shout out here for a guy named Paul McQuarter at toptechboy.com. If I've ever got any problems, always go to his YouTube videos and look for the solution. All right, and so a lot of these camera module configurations are based on his, because I just didn't know how to get it working with the new Bullseye system. So let's have a look, and let's move on to where we ended up in the last video. Oh, wrong one. Thony, open Thony, and here's where we ended up in our last video. All right, so we need to add quite a few lines of code to get this working. So we need to import time. Okay, so import time. Okay, then we come down PyCam 2. Now here's where we have to add a few things. Right, let me take this down. Now it's easier to put if you want to modify the code, it's easier to make attributes and refer to them attributes instead of referring to the whole code. All right, so if you put an attribute in, then if you want to modify the code, you've only got to come down in the code and change the attribute number. All right, so display width, so it's DISP capital W equals, and should we start off at 720? So we want our width to be 720. All right, and we want DISP H capital equals, and we'll put that at 320. Right, so what that means is if you want to change the size of your display, you just have to do it here. You don't have to go through all the code and change every disp W, disp H. That's the idea. All right, now the position we want where the frames per second is displayed. Remember, it's in pixels. It's in pixels, rows and columns. All right, and we're going to call that POS, and that's equal, brackets on, so 30 in, comma, and 60, brackets off. Right, now we want a font. So we put font. There's lots of fonts you can use, but we're going to use this one for a minute. So wrong way round. CV2 dot, all capitals now, font, right, underscore Hershey underscore simplex. Okay, so that's the font we're going to use for our showing our frames per second. All right. And then we want the height. Right. And that's equal 1.5. Right. So the height of the font. Now we want the color of the font. Okay. Now it can either be red, green, or blue. Right. That's the way we write it. But it's blue, green, red when we configure it. All right. And color, I think, is a reserved word. So we're going to call it my color. All right. And that's equal to brackets on, right? 0, 0, 255. Right. So green, red, blue, although we configure it RGB. All right. It's the other way around. Brackets off. All right. So that's a bit of the new code we want. Now, you know what I said about changing the attributes? Let me just come here. Okay. Let's bring this up. Do about here. And let's come to here. Right, remember we put the size in here? Well, now what we put is DISP capital W, comma, so that's referring to this, and DISPH, all right, and that refers to the height, 320. All right. We still need, as I said, see how it's RGB, but we configure it BGR. All right. So let's come down. Now after here, we have to put a line of code in. And this is our frame rate. This is what we want our frame rate to be. All right. So it's pi cam, capital C on the cam. Just make sure I know where I'm at. Yep. Dot preview underscore configuration dot main. Sorry, no, it's not. It's controls. Controls dot capital F for frame, capital R rate, all one word. Okay, equals, and we're going to start off at 30. All right. Right. Okay. So far, we got the preview, then we got the start. Now in here, let me just bring that down. Enter, and we want FPS equals 0. That's what we want it to start out at. Okay. So far, so good. Now, let's come down on my code a bit. Now, in the true statement, we need to add a line. Enter. And that line is T start equals time dot time, brackets on, brackets off. Right. Okay, let's come down. Put a couple of lines in so you can see where we are. We've got the break, right? Enter. Okay, under the if, T end, right, equals time dot time, brackets on, brackets off. This is all to do with the loop time of the video. Okay, we want to keep it running, right? And this is loop time equals T end, capital E on the end, minus T start, capital S on the start. Okay. Enter. FPS equals 0.9 times, which is the star, right? FPS space plus space 0.1 star, a brackets on, 1 / loop time, capital T on the time, and brackets off. All right. And that's all the changes we've got. Okay. That is the new code. Let's save that. Let's save it. Let me just move this out of the way. And should we run the program? Here we go. And here we are. All right. Let me just move this a bit so you can see me. It's not in the best position, this camera. Okay, it's not in the best position. But as you can see, we got rid of a lot of the noise. Okay. And for some reason, we haven't got the frames per second up. Let me stop that. And let me just check. I'll put all the code in. Okay. Let me come to the top. Input time, PyCam. Display position, font, height, color. I forgot a line of code. Click on here, and it's weight, WIGHT equals 3. All right. Done that. RGB, done the frame rate, done the align, preview start. I've done the frames per second equals 0. Time dot T start equals time dot time. Then we got the array, PyCam. Actually, I've forgotten a line of code. T time start frame. Right. Yep, I missed a line of code. Let's come here. CV show. Yep, I did. Yeah. My fault, your mistake. Sorry, my mistake, your fault. Yeah, okay. CV2 dot put text, capital T, brackets on, frame, comma, STR, right, for string, brackets on, INT for integer, brackets on, FPS for frames per second, brackets off, plus. All right. Quotes, space, FPS in capitals, quotes, comma, pause, comma, font, comma, height, height, comma, my color. So we're referencing all the new stuff we put in up here. Okay, comma, weight. And that's brackets off. All right, that's an important line of code, okay, that I missed. Okay, so we'll save that. Yeah, and let's run it again. Line 23. Let's just check that again. CV2, put text, comma, frame, comma, STR, sorry, yeah, comma, STR, brackets on, int, brackets on, FPS, brackets off, plus, quotes, FPS, quotes off, comma, pause, comma, font, comma, height. Got it? We put a full stop instead of a comma. Comma. All right? So, oh, what am I doing here? Comma, my color, comma, weight. Let's save that. Let's stop everything and let's run it again. And there we go. Good. There we go. Add a full stop instead of a comma. Now you can see our frame rate, 30 frames per second. See all our information of our color balance. And we're getting 30 frames per second. That's good. That's good. Now, what you want to do is stop this. Change it, play around with these values. Play around with them. See what you like. Change the color, change the weight of it. And there you go. So that is how you can improve the picture quality of your PiCam module, right? Your PiCamera module. All right. Hope you learned something. We're going to move on from the camera on our next video. And what I'm going to try and do, notice I said try. We're going to try and do the circuit and configure a music player. Yeah, a music player. So that's in our next video. All right. So please, thanks for watching the video. Please give us a thumbs up. Please comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. All right. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.